everybody. Welcome back to Gravel Pit Road. It's mid-March, that time of year. Temperatures are getting warm. I'm out here in just a flannel shirt. I'll probably be in a t-shirt if I want to. It's really nice. But today I'm thinking about farming. This would be my first episode of how to make money farming, or at least try to make money farming. This year I'm going to put my knowledge and my vast experience, with a lot of help and advice, see if I can turn a profit this year. However, the ground is just starting to dry out. Ladybug crawling on me. And I'm thinking about getting on a tractor and busting this ground up, which may or may not be a smart thing to do, because it's not good to work soil when it's wet. This ground really isn't wet. There's wet areas. That's the way my land lays. But what am I trying to say? It is not as wet right now as it was when I came out and turned the fields last year, because they were areas that were just really soggy wet and I was getting stuck. And I think as long as I avoid some of these low spots that are obviously holding some water, I should be able to turn this ground and get this bean residue turned under. We have rain coming this evening, rain coming this weekend. It's mid-March. The way it is around here, it could start raining and not stop. That's what happened last year. And if I can get the ground to open up and take on some water, then when it comes time to plant, the end of April, beginning of May, hopefully the ground will dry out on top enough that I can scoot across the top and get the beans in the ground and be on schedule, be on time. I also picked up 12 more acres at my brother Steve's house, and we're going to work on that too. So I got my hands full this year. He's going to help me over there. I can't do all this by myself and work full time with my little tiny equipment. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So you can see I'm in the little field, the old cow pasture, and there's a lot of bean residue, and I left a lot of beans on the ground because that head wasn't able to grab them, cut them, and pull them in. And I don't know if it's because the field, has a lot of undulation to it, because this field is really uneven, being that it was a cow pasture, and I think it was the first field I plowed many years ago and did not do a good job plowing it and never had the equipment to correct it. But let's see what we got here. It's not terrible. No, those beans are gone. That's empty stalks. Anyway, I'd like to get this all turned under. And what I think I'm going to try first is a tool that I've only used once. I tried to use it last year, my field cultivator. And I did a really, I won't say I did a bad job. It didn't work last year because there was too much grass, too much holding the ground together to flip it. Field cultivator is kind of good at taking what's underneath and flipping it over on top like little miniature plows, the way I understand it. Fortunately, I don't have any experience with them and don't know what I'm doing. So it's really squishy here. Where I am walking right now is pretty soft. So I could very likely get stuck in this area, but who cares? That's the way it goes. I might be smarter to just use my little disc, the little light case disc, and let it scoot across the top. Not sure. Maybe I'll do that. That's probably be a smarter idea. Maybe I'll just take that little disc, bust the top up, and then when it comes time to plant, maybe I can hit it with a field cultivator. I don't know. This is a failure about to happen, but I just feel like doing something. The weather's nice. I'm gonna go look at the other field. Oh yeah, This field here looks good. That's pretty firm. There's going to be some low spots. The further I get out in this field, the wetter it's going to get. But I'm saying there's a chance. Let's see. It's not bad. I feel like I'm high and dry here. Let's go over here to this area, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, see the ruts that I made last year cutting these beans with the combine. The combine is so heavy, but the tires are so big, it floats. So I got a lot of ruts to correct, but I've made worse with a tractor, that's for sure. Hopefully I won't do it again. See, here is a rut, and even down in the rut, it's firm. I won't get stuck. Way back there is where there's a spring in those woods it comes across. Supposedly, allegedly, there's a spring. And it always gets wet over there. I think it runs over here against these trees because it's always wet over here. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and go see if I can get this tractor started. That'll be a job by itself. And see how bad I'm gonna get stuck. See, look, here's water lays in here. And I think this is because I plowed one year, and I think I did furrow this way, and I didn't get it to flip properly. It must have made it like a little ditch line. And I don't think I'll ever be able to correct that mess. There's a nice mess of rotten soybeans when my belt malfunctioned on my harvest last year. This ground is firm. I'm gonna do it, see what happens. All right, the old 1690. I haven't touched it since I shut it down last winter. My charging system is not working. I need to put in exciter light, incandescent bulb to see if the generator, the alternator, will start charging, because I gutted all the wiring last year. It was junk, brittle, broken, not hooked to anything. And I figured if I started hooking things up, I'm just gonna have shorts, a fire hazard. And I can see that my fuel pump is leaking. I thought I fixed that last year. I don't think I think that's diesel. That's a shame. My suspicion is it's coming out of a seal here, but that would be expensive, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. Anyway, what was I saying? I still haven't fixed my fender. I miss having a fender. So my seat is shot, thank you. And the key is still in it. Let's check the oil. Oil's good. Could stand an oil change. Let's hook the battery up, which I'm sure is deader than a doornail. And, oh, look, I got a broken bungee. Guess I better fix that. I got nothing holding that battery on there. Be right back. First, I better hit the compression release on this pump. There's a button right there. Relieves pressure. Does something mechanical in there. Now, let's try this. Birds have made a home with my dashboard. That was nice of them. Oh! There was a drop. Let me get my jumper, and I bet that won't do it. I'll probably have to charge this battery. Change of plans. I'm gonna use this to jump start the bigger tractor, because that little battery jump box is not gonna do it. This little guy fired right up, a couple turns. It cranked right up. Wasn't that easy in the winter. Okay. Let's go see if I can get anything accomplished. negative. Oh, difficult. Oh, these are some heavy cables. They're hard to squeeze. I don't know if I'm on it or not. That's not going to do me much good. Sorry for the grunting. I worked for a guy one time. I was in my 20s. And worked at a plant nursery. We were rolling a tree with a 24-inch ball, and it was wet, soaked. And every time I pushed on it to roll it, I felt like I was the only one pushing. I grunted. And after a few grunts, my boss stood up and said, "Would you stop that obnoxious grunting?" I proceeded to laugh so hard I about fell down. I was like, good Lord. I said, we're pushing something that weighs probably 500 pounds. It's not exactly round because it's saturated wet. And I'm aggravating him because I'm grunting. And I still grunt. If I was working with him today, I'd grunt just to make him mad. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's give this thing some throttle. Hey, it's charging. We'll give it a few minutes. And I do have some starter fluid. Quite a bit, actually. Okay, I'm gonna let this charge for a few minutes. We'll try it again. I'm gonna set this down here because the factory one, I put on the hood, forgot I took it off and ran over it. And it took me a while to find one that was correct. That was actually a larger diameter. I know, starter fluid, but that's the way it goes. This tractor had a factory priming system. I don't know how it works, but it's all disconnected. Nothing is original when it comes to the wiring and all that crap. It's all been gutted. Okay, she's going to start. Here's what I am going to do that I did not do, which was a dumb thing. I should have primed the fuel pump. Because the way that fuel pump is leaking, you know, it's drained out. Get the air out of it. Alright, I gave it a little help over the jump box. See if that gives it enough. Oh, she's smoking. How about that? How about that? What do we got? We got good oil pressure. We got RPMs. Charging system is not hooked up. One thing I don't like about this tractor, and there aren't very many things I do not like about this tractor, I actually love this tractor, is that the clutch fluid and the antifreeze is under this hood. There's two plastic bottles. There used to be a sticker on here that you could barely read back then that has the shift pattern. But what I'm going to do one day, if I get motivated to do it, is I'm going to professionally cut out a panel and put a hinge on it so you can flip it up and access. Oh, you're going to ruin the value of this tractor. What's this tractor worth? Scrap iron? Not worried about it. I'm worried about running out of fluids. It sounds good. If I had that fuel fixed, very nice tractor. And it's beautiful. Look at it. Everybody wants it. Put my breather back on. And we'll put the fuel in it. Don't cause some damage. sorry to get stuck in one spot. Forgot to hit record. Oh, I like it. All right, come on. Hang up, get back to you in a minute. Well, I'm almost finished with this first little field, and I believe I have a catastrophic failure on this side. Somewhere down in here. I don't know if the brake band is, or whatever kind of a brake it has, is locking up, but this wheel is starting to lock up on me. I've been smelling something kind of warm, and it was a new smell. So I have no idea what that could be. I'm gonna try to get this thing out of the field because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. This wheel spins freely. This side does not. I thought maybe it had something to do with my positive traction clutch sticking, but I locked it in and that seemed to help. So I'm gonna see if I can get out of the field here. Amazement, it kind of fixed itself. I think it had to do with speed and slippage. Going too fast, wheels slipping, and there must be something worn out in there that's causing the left wheel to not slip properly. Anyway, this is it. This is my last pass I'm going to do in this field. And worked pretty good. I'm gonna head over there and see if I can not get stuck. I'm gonna do the worst first back in the back and see how wet it is. Problems. It's rough because of all the ruts I made with the combine, but it's fairly dry back here. I can't believe it. I'm scooting right along. It's going to get rough here. Ground is bad. It's going to be wet over there. I got through it. Yeah, there's a puddle laying in there. All right, I might get this done. How about that? What a beautiful field. It's my old cow pasture. And it's pretty good soil. Turned over nice. Some parts of it kicked up dust. And I can't believe it. It's the middle of March. And well, you can't really see the other side. Looking through all my equipment through the trees, but you know, there's a good 12 acres over there done. A couple wet areas I had to stay out of. You could see water standing in them, and it was a little soupy, but didn't get stuck. In fact, there were far less wet areas this time than there were last year when I did it. So it's a lot more level, and it's in a lot better shape than what it was last year. I don't think I have any trouble. I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble getting it whipped into shape here. In another month, got about 6 weeks. I'd like to plant, weather pending, last week of April, first week of May. That's ideal in my area. I've never done it before. Always been late, but this year I might be a little different. I might get lucky. It's all about the weather. It's all about the weather. So with that, I'll end this video, and I might tag it on to the next phase, because this will be a short one, maybe in a month. I'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to Gravel Pit Road.